Hello my dear friends. Today I'm talking about royal fixed stars. In the past, Ptolemy compiled two separate works, Almagest and Tetrabiblos. The Almagest contains source material about fixed stars that astrologers still consult today. Ptolemy was a pioneer in the method of designing the positions of fixed stars along the ecliptic. This method gives each star a zodiacal degree that it's easy to find it. Annual adjustments are made for precision. Ptolemy reads the nature of each star in planetary terms. For example, Regulus and Antares agree with Mars and Jupiter. Aldebaran resonates with Mercury and Mars, and Venus and Mercury are like Fomalhaut. The simplicity of these analogies easily helps students in astrology to relate with fixed stars to what is already known about planets. But this way of interpretation is really correct? As can be seen from the contemporary works of astrologers Bernadette Brady and Diana Rosenberg, the stars are approached more deeply through history and myth. Vivian Robson published the first popular modern work about fixed stars. Its syncretic approach incorporates materials from non-Western sources while supporting Greco-Ptolemaic techniques. Robson assumes that fixed stars act differently from planets. The planets are more consistent in their expression. The stars have an irregular, inconsistent, almost violent nature. Until recently, Robson's book was a standard for those who wanted to study fixed stars. What Robson says in the passage quoted above forms a direct link to a widespread prejudice about the use of stars in natal astrology, that they contribute to a fatalistic reading of charts. In recent years, the study of fixed stars has been revitalized thanks to the work of Brady and Rosenberg. Rosenberg continues to read fixed stars through the positions of their ecliptic degrees. Brady uses the even older Parans techniques to interpret the effects of the stars. However, both of them deeply appreciate the importance of history and myth in understanding fixed stars. Regardless of their different approaches, these writers have brought a fresh approach to the subject of fixed stars. What are royal stars in astrology? These royal stars have long been associated with the fixed signs of the zodiac. Aldebaran is the bull eye in Taurus, Antares is the heart of Scorpio in Scorpio, Regulus is the lion's heart in Leo, and Fomalhaut is the mouth of the fish in the southern fish, close to Aquarius. Astrologers know fixed signs as resources of concentrated power. Each of them describes a certain time of dynamic release, a certain type of radius of power. You can also find these 4 zodiac signs in a tarot cards, all of them in the card The World, as you can see in the figure. In horoscopic astrology, each of the 4 royal stars embodies a moral principle that can bring success and honor to those who successfully respond to its energy. Royal stars can confer a first-rate talent, but if abused, this will result in the dramatic rise and fall scenario described in earlier writings on fixed stars. Rosenberg used to write, having such a proeminent star in one's birth predicted the possibility of a high position in life, even for those born below. However, the gifts of the royal stars can react against the person, causing them to fall out of grace of power. Rosenberg also finds that royal stars sometimes refers to situations where someone is prematurely placed in a high position. Thus, the immaturity of the native can lead to the extremes of success and failure attributed to these 4 stars. Brady links royal stars to a specific human weakness that, if treated correctly, will bring talent and strength. It traces its position back to the myths of ancient Persia. In a natal chart, the royal stars add extra talent, power to any planet they come in contact with in close conjunction. So the conjunction is the most important aspect with the royal star or any other fixed star. Other astrologers have already pointed out that people with a prominent royal star are given the opportunity to share a special message to the world. So let's start with Aldebaran. The constellation marked the spring equinox between 4000 and 2000 before Christ. Taurus contains both notable stars and star clusters, including Hyades and Pleiades, as well as the royal star Aldebaran. During the Taurus age, bull worship was a central form of ritual activity. In Egypt, priests regularly selected a special bull to represent Api, the god of the underworld. After the death or sacrifice of the bull, people went into a long period of mourning until the body was buried and a replacement was found. The sacrificed god Osiris was another Egyptian character, often depicted with the head of a bull. A solar disc between the horns of the bull, Osiris symbolized the power of life over death. Aldebaran is almost exactly opposite Antares in zodiac longitude. Aldebaran stands for the generative force within life itself. If thoughts are things, Aldebaran challenges us to consider the quality of our thinking and the words and deeds that issue from our ideas. Aldebaran will clarify the expression of natal planets by aiding us to use the planet's energy for life-enhancing creative endeavors. As a royal star, the creativity of Aldebaran may well have to contend with forces that restrict its expression. Brady links Aldebaran to the principle of integrity and honor. For Brady, Aldebaran recalls Mithras as the lord of contracts, whose followers were expected to be scrupulously honest and ethical in all their transactions. The nemesis of dishonesty must be avoided by anyone who wants to be in tune with the highest Aldebaran has to offer. Rosenberg gives Aldebaran the positive traits of intelligent, eloquent, multi-talented, along with the negative traits of self-destructive, with ferocity overcoming the sense of honor or integrity. Another people that are born with conjunction with Aldebaran are Queen Victoria, Mata Hari, Joseph Goebbels, Viktor Orban, Brooke Shields. When it's about the next royal star is Antares. The constellation Scorpio rises after Orion. We can see Orion actually fleeing from the Scorpion's claws. The Scorpion is symbolic of wisdom, but it also symbolizes death and self-destruction. Antares is an abbreviation of the Antares, which means rival of Mars. Perhaps this is because Antares is reddish in color. Some of Antares associations have a martial flavor. Antares is Antar's star. Antar was an Islamic warrior hero from the pre-Muhammad era. In other literature, Antares was called Kalb al-Akrab, or the scorpion's heart. For the Persians, around 3000 before Christ, Antares was the watcher in the west, a pillar of heaven. and corresponds to the guardian angel Raphael, whose name means God is a healer. Antares shows the aspect of cosmic order that destroys for the sake of renewal, and reveals that death must exist alongside the forces of life in the foundation of the universe. The older astrologers had dire and frightening things to say about Antares. For example, Robson List used to write about Antares, that is, malevolence and destructiveness, danger and fatality, but admitting that broad-mindedness and liberality. The combination of these qualities sounds like the Mars-Jupiter rulership that Ptolemy assigned to Antares. Modern astrologers like Rosenberg maintain that Antares offers the possibility of power, authority, and wealth, but there is also the dark side, tendency to violence, suspicion, and self-destructiveness. Brady used to say that people that have Antares relevant in the chart are creating drama simply from the thrill of intensity, which can lead to the loss of all that has been gained. Some other people that have relevant Antares in their chart was Gandhi, British Prime Minister Churchill, Goering, Copernicus, and others. The constellation Leo holds the royal star Regulus. Leo is found westward on the ecliptic next to Cancer. Since Regulus lies almost exactly on the ecliptic, horoscopic conjunctions to the star are close to exact. Even Regulus has been called the ruler of the heavens. It is actually one of the faintest of the first magnitude stars. Sirius is much brighter than Regulus. For many civilizations, the lion has served as a god or goddess symbol. Particularly in ancient Rome, the god Mithras installed the sun as the ruler of the world. It signified the moral strength of the initiate. Regulus, the most regal sounding of the royal stars, marked the summer solstice as the watcher in the north. Also, Regulus was Cor Leonis in Rome, Maga in India, the mighty, and Maliki for the Arabs. Regulus represents a dimension of the cosmic order that upholds courage and right action. Regulus gives the power to stand firmly upon one's inner conviction in the face of threats and danger. As a royal star, Regulus symbolized the strength and power of the heart, love and actions motivated by such considerations. Similarly, Regulus, as the Archangel Michael, brings leadership qualities. In the natal chart, Regulus lends a touch of dramatic confidence to the planets in contacts. This signifies a grand application of the planet's energy. The results can be quite inspiring, especially if the person is serving in an example to others. Astrologers' traditional view of Regulus connects the star to extraordinary qualities, high idealism, spiritual strength, and command. Also, Regulus gives honor, especially military ones. These are short-lived and could eventually in humiliating failure. Contemporary assessment of this star still associated with courage and authority, but links it reveals to the dark side emerging when courage becomes arrogance. Brady cautions natives with a predominant Regulus to avoid the nemesis of revenge, which can cause them to lose sight of the idealism that is an example for others. As an example, Winston Churchill is an excellent subject for the study of royal stars. He was born with Antares conjunct the Sun and Regulus conjunct the Moon. Other people that have a relevant aspect with the Regulus are Heidi Klum, Bernard, no, Paul Gauguin, Alan Leo, Donald Trump, Ken Honor du Balzac, Martin Scorsese, Guillaume Apollinaire, and others. The Southern Fish constellation extends from the 15 degrees in Aquarius to 5 degrees in Pisces. Robson connects the constellation to the transformation of Venus into the shape of a fish on one occasion when bathing. This makes sense astrologically with Venus exalted in Pisces. Yet the southern fish is neither the sign nor the constellation of Pisces, because the mouth of the fish is in a part of the sky connected to the waters of life. So we can also relate this image to the water that flows from Aquarius. Fomalhaut is from the Arabic Fum al-Hut, the fish's mouth. This star is the bright red star that the Persians used to mark the winter solstice and contributes to the order of the world through creative inspiration. Since this star is related to the holy angel Gabriel, it symbolizes a need to educate others through love and compassion. It is about the ability to inspire people through ideas and aesthetics, especially music. Fomalhaut dictates the need for us to communicate and share our spiritual convictions with others through the finest of expressions. In a natal chart, those who have planets touching Fomalhaut can put these energies to use by some form of artistic or healing service. What emerges are forms that connect the material with the spiritual dimensions. Brady used to say about this star, charisma, a touch of the mystic, a sense of magic, as some of the traits of Fomalhaut. However, if these qualities become influenced by the nemesis, materialism, all that was gained by the person will be lost. Rosenberg used to say that Fomalhaut symbolized the battle between idealism and cynicism. People have the strength to overcome their difficulties, to become teachers of succeeding generations. The royal stars of Persia comprise a fascinating subject for anyone interested in not only astrology, but also in philosophy, magic, comparative religion, or mythology. As we have seen, the background history of the royal stars is extraordinary and tells some story of conflict. The conflict is within each of us and thrives on the eternal struggle between our divine potential and our human nature. Until next time, I wish you all the best, and it is very good to search on your natal chart and see if you have one or more royal stars that are conjunction your natal planets. Bye bye.